Here's a thought experiment. Try going to Afghanistan and burning their flag. Try going to Iraq and having anti-Iraqi sentiments. Try going to Zimbabwe and cursing out that country publicly, openly, as a foreigner, a group of foreigners going in to Zimbabwe or Iraq or any of the aforementioned countries that I mentioned, and those are just a few out of many. Try going over there as a group of foreigners and rebelling against those countries. See how quick they snatch you up, and see how quick you are going to face incarceration, or on a more drastic level, execution. Not too long ago, there was a story of three Americans that went into Singapore, I believe, or one of those South Asian countries, and they tried to bring in some white. They tried to bring in some narcotics. Now they're facing execution. And as harsh as that is for us, you have to think about those people and how much they uphold their country and how much they uphold their laws, and how tribal, and I know tribal is used in a bad way, but hey, it is what it is. It's real, and it's damn near natural for a country to have some sort of tribalism, and it can be healthy in a way. But they uphold their country so much that they're willing to execute these foreigners because they messed around and found out with smuggling narcotics into that country. So why is it that America is a country that repeatedly lets people spit on it, stomp on it, letting people that aren't even here legally come in and just wreak havoc? And this is coming from an immigrant myself. Obviously, I'm legal, okay? Nobody call ICE on me. I'm legal, okay? I'm a citizen. So why is it that America just lets everybody run ramshod on it? It lets people just spit on it, and the craziest part is that America itself seems to be anti-American. I know you guys have seen this. Everything that this country stands for is now turned into some kind of negative thing. Let me tell you something, man. I don't usually talk about politics or any racial topics or anything like that. But this is getting so bad. This is getting so bad out here that it's just like, damn, I feel like I have to talk about it. You know? But this country is so privileged. This country is so privileged. And no, don't give me the whole spiel about some evil white man sitting in a 100-story skyscraper somewhere with dark clouds covering the top of his skyscraper, and he's sitting in a dark room talking about, I'm going to oppress these people. And give me that bullshit story, because if you think about it, we are some of the most privileged people. These people talking about they're oppressed and all that stuff, they have the latest iPhone. They have the latest car. They have a roof over their head. They haven't skipped a meal because they're fat as hell. And on top of that, they are talking shit about the country that they live in. If that is not privilege, I don't know what that is, because as I stated before, if you go to any of these other countries and you openly have anti-sentiments, anti-insert country sentiments, they're going to come after you, especially if it's a group. Especially, imagine Americans going to another country, a whole group of them, and they're in another country illegally. You think that country just gonna sit around and let them do that? Well, hell, they will come after you and they will freaking destroy you. And it's like plain and simple. This has been said time and time again. If you don't like this country so much, why are you still here? It is not a perfect country. It has many flaws. This is obvious. This is obvious. Yes, let me go ahead and get the grievances out of the way. Yes, the cost of living is outrageous. Yes, the taxes are horrendous. Yes, the crime is rampant thanks to a certain political party, which I'm not going to get into too much, but they have a huge part in this kerfuffle that we're in, right? A certain political party that encourages criminals, encourages this victimhood, encourages coddling of all of these criminals and letting them out on bail or bond, whatever the hell, after a day or two, only for these same individuals to come out and murk somebody shortly after they were released out on bail or bond. And that's just a small example. Okay. Yes, all of this stuff is true, but compared to other countries, dude, we have the freedom to get food delivered to us. We have the freedom to get a fucking cheeseburger delivered straight to our door. And all we have to do is set our fat butts down and click a couple of buttons on our phone, and bam, there it goes. There goes your cheeseburger. There goes your overly processed cheeseburger that you bought from McDonald's. That's, by the way, 5 minutes away from where you live. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I've used DoorDash and all of these things. This is a country where people have the latest technology, the latest iPhones, $300 sneakers, and they're yelling about this country is oppressive. Man, you think this country is oppressive? Like I said, I'm Arabic. Take your ass to one of these Arab countries. Go to one of these impoverished, war-torn, dictator-style countries. And once again, let me say this again, America is not perfect. Yes, there is a lot of flaws. I'm not oblivious. I'm not oblivious to the fact that there is a government system that manipulates its society. I'm not oblivious to that. Trust me, I'm not oblivious to tactics that they use, okay? But in comparison to other countries, come on, man. And a lot of these people, you know what kills me? Let me use Arabs for an example. A lot of them are invading these, I use the word invaded, but a lot of them are going to these countries seeking refuge from their own messed up, corrupt government. They're going to these other countries and talking and trying to bring that same messed up mentality over there. They're trying to change that country into the shithole country that they escaped from. And you start thinking about it, it's like, this doesn't make any sense. Yet again, certain people were infiltrated and became powerful, and now they're ushering in, they're trying to dismantle American values. They're trying to dismantle everything that America stood on. They're trying to dismantle it for their own agenda. Their whole premise is the oppressed is overruling the oppressor. So basically, what they're doing is, in an insidious and sneaky way, is they want that same power the oppressor has, quote unquote. They're trying to overtake their so-called oppressor. So now they are in that same position. And all of these politicians that scream about equality and we're all equal and there's no difference between genders and there's no differences between people, all of that BS, and everyone should be equal to each other. Guess what? They are in no way equal to the masses that they're preaching this crap to, because they live in multi-million dollar mansions away from the bums that they're preaching to, away from the victim mentality. Oh, America hates me type of people. Those same politicians, they're not going to go in the trenches of Philadelphia. They're not going to go in the trenches of the Bronx or whatever, all of these fucked up cities. They're not going to go in those trenches. You know why? Because in their head, secretly, they're like, I don't want to live next to these, man, I don't want to live next to these bums. But yet, they're encouraging people to be anti-American, right? It's offensive. It's almost offensive to wave the American flag nowadays. Like, it's almost it offends people living in America to wave the American flag. Then you got these effeminate, politically correct social justice warriors out here that try so hard to bootleg, all of these groups and stuff and put down America at America's expense. And it's crazy to me, man. It's crazy that America has so much anti-American sentiment and is just letting these people use it as a doormat. It's a damn shame. Anyway, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.